will step back and let Him lead the way. I will step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I will step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I will step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today and studying A Course in Miracles. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from my home place in the Ozarks. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Let's look at our lesson. Lesson 155. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. And that's Jed, my dog, and some bamboo here in the background. I will step back and let Him lead the way. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own, yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also and believe that you are like them as you were before. The world is an illusion. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Yet when they find their own reality is even here, then they step back and let it lead the way. What other choice is really theirs to make? To let illusions walk ahead of truth is madness, but to let illusion sink behind the truth and let the truth stand forth as what it is merely sanity. This is the simple choice we make today between sanity and insanity. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who choose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find that they were mistaken in their choice. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so. And so they need a teacher who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusions to the simple truth in them. And that teacher would be the Holy Spirit. If truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality. And that'd be the idea of sacrifice. They believe it's real, but they're told they have to give it up in order to find God. So they sacrifice, which we don't want to do, but that's something many have done. And they have suffered from a sense of loss. They have not been released, and then have not been released accordingly. Let's read that again. If truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality. and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world, and they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they did not understand. And that's the path of deprivation, is what Jesus is going to call it here in a minute. Between these two paths of sacrifice and deprivation, there is another road that leads away from loss of every kind. For sacrifice and deprivation both are quickly left behind. We're going to follow the great middle path. Buddha talked about that, didn't he? This is the way appointed for you now. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus can you serve them while you serve yourself, and set their footsteps on the way that God has opened up to you, and them through you. Illusion still appears to cling to you, that you may reach them. Illusion still appears to cling to you, that you may reach them. Yet it has stepped back. In other words, you're still enough involved in the illusory world that you can reach your brothers that are also there. That's the them he's referring to, as I understand it. Illusion still appears to cling to you, that you may reach them. That's a good reason to be involved in illusion, so you can help your brothers, be a bodhisattva. Yet it has stepped back. Illusion has stepped back. And it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion that you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. Nor can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusions. For the road leads past illusion now, while on the way you call to them, that they may follow you. All roads will lead to this one in the end. For sacrifice and deprivation are paths that lead nowhere. Choices for defeat and aims that will remain impossible. All this steps back as truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the ways of death and set them on the way to happiness. Their suffering is but illusion, yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusion for the truth. Such is salvation's call and nothing more. It asks that you accept the truth and let it go before you, lighting up the path of ransom from illusion. It is not a ransom with a price. There is no cost, but only gain. Illusion can but seem to hold in chains the Holy Son of God. It is but from illusions he is saved. And as they step back, he finds himself again. As the illusions step back, the Son of God finds himself again. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you. And you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth, and let illusions be your guide. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now, that they may see something with which they can identify, something they understand to lead the way. Yet at the journey's ending there will be no gap, no distance between truth and you. And all illusions walking in the way you traveled will be gone from you as well, with nothing left to keep the truth apart from God's completion, holy as himself. Step back in faith and let truth lead the way. You know not where you go, but one who goes with you, but one who knows goes with you, the Holy Spirit. Let him lead you with the rest. When dreams are over, time has closed the door on all the things that pass, and miracles are purposeless. The Holy Son of God will make no journeys. There will be no wish to be illusion rather than the truth. And we step forth toward this as we progress along the way that truth points out to us. This is our final journey which we make for everyone. We must not lose our way, for as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. Paragraph 12. We walk to God. There's where we're going. As we step back and let Him lead the way. For I would walk along the road to God. We walk to God. Pause and reflect on this. We walk to God. Could any way be holier or more deserving of your effort, of your love, and of your full intent? What way could give you more than everything, or offer less and still content the Holy Son of God? We walk to God. The truth that walks before us now is one with Him and leads us to where He has always been. What way but this could be a path that you would choose instead? Your feet are safely set upon the road that leads the world to God. Look not to ways that seem to lead you elsewhere. Dreams are not a worthy guide for you who are God's son. Forget not, He has placed His hand in yours and given you your brothers in His trust, that you are worthy of His trust in you. He cannot be deceived. His trust has made your pathway certain and your goal secure. You will not fail your brothers nor yourself. And now He asks but that you think of Him a while each day, that He may speak to you and tell you of His love, reminding you how great His trust, how limitless His love. In your name and His own, which are the same, we practice gladly with this thought today. I will step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. Okay, we're in this with all our brothers. They're actually our guides, even though we have something to offer them when we step back and lead the way. But they're our guides. We have to learn to love them like we want to love God, and that will lead us on. Okay, we're in chapter 16 of our text reading, Roman numeral 5. Chapter 16, Forgiveness of Illusion. Roman numeral 5, the choice for completion. As you're turning there, for the ones that are following out of the original edition, which I would not encourage new students to do necessarily, even though you could read it but just stick with one at the time to be the first year. Perception and the two worlds, which is Roman numeral 5 of chapter 17. If you're reading through the New Testament, if you're a Bible student, I'd encourage you to read along with me. 2 Corinthians chapter 7. If you're reading through Iyengar Yoga, read page 191. And if you're reading through A Course of Love, read the treatises number 3, chapter 19, Physical Reality. And we'll spend a couple days on this one, which is page 334 and 335. Read that today. And you can spend a couple days on your text reading for the original edition too. So read about half of it or read it twice, whatever you want to do it. The choice for completion. In looking at the special relationship, it is necessary first to realize that it involves a great amount of pain. Anxiety, despair, guilt, and attack all enter into it, broken into by periods in which they seem to be gone. All these must be understood for what they are. Whatever form they take, they are always an attack on the self to make the other guilty. I have spoken of this before, but there are some aspects of what is really being attempted that have not been touched upon. Paragraph 2. Very simply, the attempt to make guilty is always directed against God. For the ego would have you see Him and Him alone as guilty, leaving the sonship open to attack and unprotected from attack. The special love relationship is the ego's chief weapon for keeping you from heaven. It does not appear to be a weapon, but if you consider how you value it and why, you will realize what it must be. Paragraph 3. The special love relationship is the ego's most boasted gift and one which has the most appeal to those unwilling to relinquish guilt. The, in quotes, dynamics of the ego are clearest here, For counting on the attraction of this offering, the fantasies that center around it are quite overt. And the word dynamics is in quotes because there's really no dynamo in it. There's no energy in it. It's an illusion. But it seems to be. And in this world of illusions, it has an apparent dynamism. The dynamics of the ego are clearest here. For counting on the attraction of this offering, the fantasies that center around it are often quite overt. Here they are usually judged to be acceptable and even natural. No one considers it bizarre to love and hate together, and even those who believe that hate is sin merely feel guilty but do not correct it. This is the, in quotes, natural condition of the separation. Of course, separation isn't natural. Why I put that in quotes. This is the natural condition of the separation, and those who learn that it is not natural at all seem to be the unnatural ones. For this world is the opposite of heaven being made to be its opposite, and everything here takes a direction exactly opposite to what is true. In heaven, where the meaning of love is known, love is the same as union. Here, where the illusion of love is accepted in love's place, love is perceived as separation and exclusion. Paragraph 4. It is in the special relationship born of the hidden wish for special love from God that the ego's hatred triumphs. For the special relationship is the renunciation of the love of God and the attempt to secure for the self the specialness that he denied. It is essential to the preservation of the ego that you believe this specialness is not hell, but heaven. For the ego would never have you see that separation could only be loss, being the one condition in which heaven could not be. 5. To everyone, heaven is completion. There can be no disagreement on this because both the ego and the Holy Spirit accept it. They are, however, in complete disagreement on what completion is and how it is accomplished. The Holy Spirit knows that completion lies first in union and then in the extension of union. To the ego, completion lies in triumph and in the extension of the, in quotes, victory, not a real victory, even to the final triumph over God. In this it sees the ultimate freedom of the self, for nothing would remain to interfere with the ego. This is the idea of heaven, and therefore union, which is a condition in which the ego cannot interfere, must be hell. 6. The special relationship is a strange and unnatural ego device for joining hell and heaven and making them indistinguishable. And the attempt to find the imagined best of both worlds has merely led to fantasies of both and to the inability to perceive either as it is. The special relationship is the triumph of this confusion. It is a kind of union from which union is excluded, and the basis for the attempt at union rests on exclusion. What better example could there be of the ego's maxim? Seek but do not find. Paragraph 7. Most curious of all is the concept of the self which the ego fosters in the special relationship. This, in quotes, self seeks the relationship to make itself complete. Yet when it finds the special relationship in which it thinks it can accomplish this, it gives itself away and tries to, in quotes, trade itself for the self of another. Let's read that again. Yet when it finds the special relationship in which it thinks it can accomplish this, it gives itself away and tries to trade itself for the self of another. Read it again. Yet when it finds the special relationship in which it thinks it can accomplish this, it gives itself away and tries to trade itself for the self of another. Got it right that time. This is not union, for there is no increase and no extension. Each partner tries to sacrifice the self he does not want for one he thinks he would prefer. and he feels guilty for the sin of taking and of giving nothing of value in return. How much value can he place upon a self that he would give away to get a better one? The, in quotes, better one, the better self the ego seeks, is always one that is more special, and whoever seems to possess a special self is loved for what can be taken from him. Where both partners see this special self in each other, the ego sees a union made in heaven. For neither one will recognize that he has asked for hell, and so he will not interfere with the ego's illusion of heaven, which it offered him to interfere with heaven. Yet if all illusions are of fear, and they can be of nothing else, the illusion of heaven is nothing more than an attractive form of fear in which the guilt is buried deep and rises in the form of love. And I think we'll stop on this next paragraph. We're about halfway through this section. Paragraph 9. The appeal of hell lies only in the terrible attraction of guilt which the ego holds out to those who place their faith in littleness. The conviction of littleness lies in every special relationship, for only the deprived could value specialness. The demand for specialness and the perception of the giving of specialness as an act of love would make love hateful. The real purpose of the special relationship, in strict accordance with the ego's goals, is to destroy reality and substitute illusion. For the ego is itself an illusion, and only illusions can be the witnesses to its, in quotes, reality. For the ego is itself an illusion, and only illusions can be the witnesses to its reality. That's why reality's in quotes, because it's not reality, is it? Okay, I will step back and let him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to him. And let's see what's going on around the world today. Corpus Christi Day for Catholics, mainly for Latino Catholics and Polish Catholics. Corpus Christi Day. Eid al-Ghadir Day, which is Muhammad's final sermon by the pond of Qum. Muhammad, blessed be his name. Final sermon. Eid al-Ghadir. Holidays and observances. Anti-Bullying Day. I found all these on holidays and observances. These next ones. Anti-Bullying Day. Bird Day. International Respect for Chickens Day. Great Lakes Awareness Day. Intergalactic Star Wars Day. Which we want to learn, we don't need any Star Wars. What we need is star peace. International Female Ride Day, Firefighters Day, Kind Day, which is Kids in Need of Diapers Day. Man, let's give them some, instead of disposable, let's make diapers that can be put onto the compost. For my kids, I used Bounty paper towels with masking tape, and they just went in the compost pile when I was done. If you're going to use diapers that aren't disposable, then use cotton diapers and wash them. Kent State Shooting Remembrance Day, Melanoma Day, Kids Fitness Day, Candied Orange Peel Day, and Orange Juice Day, Meeting Planner, the Citrus Limon Day, Meeting Planner Appreciation Day, Weather Observers Day. Is that citrus limon or is that for lemons? Anyway, citrus is the genera of lemons. I'm not sure what the, I forgot to look up what the species is. Weather Observers Day, Petite and Proud Day, Renewal Day, and World Give Day. Well, that ought to be every day. Give love so that you can receive love. And then out of the herb book, we're going on to the next one. It's cayenne pepper, the capsicum frutescens. And the reason why we like to learn the botanical name is because look at all the different regional names. Instead of cayenne, which I call it, there are people call it African pepper, American pepper, bird pepper, capsicum, chili pepper, cockspur pepper, goat's pepper, pod pepper, red pepper, Spanish pepper, and Zanzibar pepper. It's a perennial in its native tropical environment, but here in the temperate climate, we grow it as an annual. Its properties: it's an appetizer, a digestive, an irritant, a silagogue, which produces saliva, a stimulant, and a tonic. Okay, and our word for peace, we're going to take it from the Quechua people of the Andes Highlands as well as the Amazon. They're in probably Brazil, but also Ecuador, and the main rivers in Ecuador is the Napo River watershed. So from the Quechua people, their word for peace is Thak. Thak be with you. Okay, and let's see, I've got just a moment before we close with our song. I just want to encourage you that I had a friend who I sent a link to the lesson, and she thought that it was there were some things she didn't really agree with, and didn't want to be, discouraging. But and I told her, I said, probably better to start with lesson 1. I probably should have. So I sent her a link to lesson 1. So if things are a little bit, remember the first year through, if you want to fly by at high altitude and just kind of look at the landscape of what you'll be learning next year, and then start with lesson 1 and really give it your heart and do what it says, that's what I would encourage people to do if they've never been exposed to these concepts in A Course in Miracles. And but you could also just go back and look at my lesson and start with lesson 1 right now. But I always kind of like people to follow along in real time. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I will step back and let Him lead the way. For I would walk along the road to Him. I will step back and let Him lead the way. For I would walk along the road to Him. I will step back and let Him lead the way. Okay, now one last thing. Our word for peace in Quechua is Thak be with you. And let's be sure to do our 2 at least 5 minutes morning and evening practice periods, and take longer if you'd like. And every hour of the day, remind yourself, I will step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. Thak.